Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Julie, and as you can see, I am currently sitting in my kitchen. We'll be changing things up a little bit today, and I'll be restyling my open kitchen shelves based on all of the illustrations I've shown you in the past. It's time to put my money where my mouth is and actually show you my entire process of how I restyle open shelves. We've been cooped up in the house now for almost 6 months in quarantine, and I really felt like I just needed to change things up. I'm no longer inspired by some of the decorative items that I've been showcasing on my shelves, so I feel like a much needed mini refresh is in order. I'll be shopping my home, of course, for some home decor items that I can restyle for the shelves, but I also want to stop by my favorite thrift store and my local home goods to see if we can unearth any cool treasures. First, we have to clear these shelves. Let's go shopping. Okay, so since we're doing this entire makeover on a budget, our first stop is going to be Goodwill, and then we're going to head to Home Goods after this. We'll go back to the houseware section. Ooh, maybe some furniture too. Okay, don't get distracted. Focus, guys, focus. The first place I want to go to is probably the basket section, and then we'll start to peruse all the home decor stuff. What we're looking for is some baskets for organization, maybe some trays, and then definitely some decorative items for the shelves. We're looking for baskets that are like completely intact. Ooh, I like this. Oh, I don't like this. But you always kind of want to inspect it to see if you could take it off, which it looks like this is really just glued on. So I love this basket. There's no rips, there's no tears, and it's actually a little expensive at $10, but it's okay, it's for charity. Okay, we're looking for really like organic shapes that I love. We're trying to paint over this. You know that ceramic finish that you do with paint and baking soda or baking powder is like really hot right now. I love that trend. I've been wanting to try it out. So we're gonna look for decorative objects in the shape that I like organic, natural shapes, and then paint right over it if I don't like the finish. It is slim pickings today, guys. I feel like people have come in and kind of wiped everything out. I like this vase. I think this is really cool. I mean, if you can kind of look closer, it has a really cool texture to it. So I think that when I put on the paint finish, it might even pick up that texture. I love this vase. I like its kind of bulbous shape at the bottom, and it's such a really cool modern shape. So I like this combination, and I think that's going to be it for today. This is cool too, $12.99. I mean, I love this big shape, and I think like as a vignette, this could be really cool. Ooh, pretty cow. I love this. That's so pretty. It feels so like relaxing, calming, beachy vibe, which is really what I'm going for, even though I didn't even know it, you know, but sometimes you have to let the art inspire you. Since I can't decide which one I like best, I'll probably take both and just return the one that doesn't work. Oh my gosh, I love this. You know how I feel about face vases, guys. This will really match what I have existing, and once we put like a cool paint treatment over it, we'll breathe new life into it. Love it. Let's get it. I like this. I like this jug. I love the colors. It has this really earthy, organic vibe to it. I think this would be really beautiful as a new color story. But let's see what else we can get to match it. Oh, pretty. I mean, I actually like this face better than the glass one, because the glass one I was still gonna paint over it, but this one comes just as is. This is pretty. Let's get this. So I brought everything home and I laid it out, and I feel like that's always a good rule of thumb. Go around your house, shop your home, and pull out all your decorative items and put them on one table. Now you can see how they vibe with the new pieces you got and what you need to do to change it up. So here's the piece that I purchased from the thrift store. We have these 3 vessels, and really this is the vibe that I'm going for. Really neutral, really organic. It looks very artisan and homemade, just like this vase from Home Goods. I really love this two-tone look where you have almost like a clay surface mixed with like a little glazed surface. We've got more two-toned accents here. So I think what I'll do is tape this vessel off and do like a two-tone clay texture, and maybe this textured vase will just change up the color completely, and for this glass vessel we'll do an entire transformation. So hopefully by the time we're done with it, this entire vignette will look really beautifully styled, it'll look cohesive, and it'll look fresh and new. So I've been really inspired by all of those DIY videos that I've seen on Instagram, on TikTok, I mean even on YouTube, of how to transform these regular glass vessels, whether or not you found them at the thrift store or it's something that's laying around your house that no longer vibes with your color palette. We're gonna refresh the glass finishes and give it this really cool organic clay vibe. It almost looks like artisan pottery, and it's so simple to do. All you need is some acrylic paint. You can also use some interior latex paint if you have some of that lying around, and some regular old baking soda. I'll be mixing a variety of colors, and since my base palette is white, we'll be starting with white acrylic paint. This is really just an arbitrary amount, guys. I mean, I don't really know what this is gonna look like, but this burnt sienna almost looks like a terracotta. I don't know if that's the look that I'm going for, so we're gonna set that aside. So I'll be adding the baking soda now. Once you add the baking soda to the acrylic paint, it's gonna give it this really beautiful texture. And the texture is almost akin to clay. It's gonna look a little clumpy, but it'll smooth out once you put it on the base. We'll be starting with this textured piece and painting it on in a really random fashion. So I have my first coat laid down, and as you can see, there's some really beautiful grainy texture on here, and I love how it looks like clay. The thing that I'm not loving is that it's a little bit too peach for me. So once this coat dries, we'll be layering on another coat, so it's a little bit more white like I intended. Moving on to our next vessel. I really want to create a two-tone texture with this, so I'll be taping off half of this vase so we get almost a glazed and matte clay effect. I'm really just eyeballing where I want to tape it off, so if you want to bust out the measuring tape, that's entirely up to you. So now that you have it all taped off, it is time to paint. I've had this acrylic paint sitting in my studio for quite a while, so obviously you can see it's really clumpy. It should have a smoother finish, but we'll also be trying this out with interior latex paint, and we'll see how smoothly it goes on. I found that the trick to using baking soda is if you want the finish a little bit more textured, just add a little bit more baking soda. Moving on to our largest piece. I just want this in a really clean, crisp white. While we're waiting for the first coat to dry on these painted vessels, if you feel like this is a little bit too much work to get that organic clay effect, I have another really neat trick for you to implement. You can turn a simple glass vase into a ceramic masterpiece with just flat white spray paint. So let's take this outside and I'll show you how we can do that. Now that these vessels have all dried, it's time to take a look at the handiwork. I'm loving how the texture came out on this large vessel. I mean, it literally looks like a clay pot. For this textured vase, I mean, this is hideous, guys. There's no reason that you have to continue to use a DIY project just because you spent some time on it. You have to take a step back and determine, does this really represent my style? Does it inspire me daily? And I'm gonna say no, so we're not even gonna use this guy. And now it's time to take a look at our two-tone vessel and see how it turned out. Oh, pretty. I love the way this turned out. I mean, I'm really loving that two-tone effect. So if you have something that's a translucent glass or even a clear glass, use painter's tape to tape it up. You could do like a 50-50 split. You can even do like designs on it, which I think would be really cool. Now that our DIY vessels are done, let's see how they look with the rest of the group. We did it, all in a day's work. I am so glad that we dropped Kamari off to my mom's for the day. That was the only way I was able to get all of these kitchen shelves restyled and revamped. I love the refresh. Remember all of the tips that I spoke about in previous videos? We have something organic, something inspiring, something personal, something from your travels, and you always need to finish it off with something bold and statement making. You'll remember my wow piece before. It was a photograph that I took in Japan on a recent travel trip. Although I replaced it with 2 large-scale photography pieces that I found from HomeGoods, it doesn't take away from the fact that it has the ability to inspire me on the day-to-day basis. I grew up at the beach, so to me, these art pieces are very aspirational. It helps me to aspire to move back to the beach one day and raise my kids there. The best part about styling these shelves is that it's not permanent. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll get a behind-the-scenes look at how I style and restyle, organize and reorganize these shelves as the weeks go by. Remember that nothing is ever permanent, least of all interior design. So play, experiment, have fun with it. Of course, shop your home to reuse pieces that you already have on hand. And remember that a quick stop to your local thrift store can fill in any pieces that you need on a budget. If you enjoyed seeing me in action, styling and restyling my kitchen shelves, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment below and let me know what types of design videos you'd like to see next. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.